Hello and welcome to Out and About. I'm Diane Gonzalez. Most counties in Nebraska have a county fair, but here in Lancaster County we have a super fair. The big family-friendly event is coming up August 4th through the 13th at the Lancaster Event Center. And joining me for a preview are Amy Dickerson. She's the managing director at the Event Center.
Good morning.
And Trudy Pedley. She is the fair coordinator and also secretary of the Lancaster County Agricultural Society. Thank you so much both for being here. Trudy, I'm going to start with you. For those who are not familiar with the Ag Society, tell us about that organization.
The Ag Society is comprised of 9 members. We serve 3-year terms, and we are elected by voters of Lancaster County at our annual meeting each year. Our primary purpose at this point is not only to have the Lancaster Event Center, but we spend a lot of time specifically on the Lancaster County Fair.
Well, it is a huge event. Tell us a little bit about the history of it, because for years it was at the state fairgrounds,
Yes.
and then when the event center got built, it moved to its new location.
Yes, this is going to be the 15th year that we've been located at the Lancaster Event Center. In 2010, when the state fair left for Grand Island, we increased the number of days to 10 days. So our motto that year was, our theme was 10 days, 10 and 10, 10 days and 10, 2010.
Well, it's a great event, and it's held at a facility that was pretty much designed for the fair and for a lot of other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about the facility itself and what's all out there.
Oh my goodness. Well, it's something that Lancaster County can be proud of. It's 400,000 square feet, around about 7 buildings on 160 acres. And besides the 10-day fair, which is one of the largest county fairs in the country, we have over 300 events the rest of the year. And it's, I mean, you name it, we have it. If you're enthusiastic about something, whether it's trade shows during the winter, we're pretty much full all during the winter, including the largest farm show west of the Mississippi. We just, last couple of weeks, had literally almost 2,000 horses there over 2 weeks, probably coming from about 20 states around, doing national quarter horse and barrel racing competitions, big rodeos, and lots of smaller events, community events. The youth are out there live, year-round 4-H, FFA, sports, etc. So something for everybody out there. There's almost something every weekend.
How many people usually attend the county fair?
It's right around 140,000.
Wow.
So out of about 500,000 people that come out to the Lancaster Event Center.
Well, a big part of it is the 4-H and the FFA. And Trudy was telling me this is called the Bible. It is a competition guide, I assume,
Yes.
with all the rules and all the deadlines and all that. What happens how big a part of the fair is the FFA and 4-H exhibits and contests?
When we went to the 10-day fair, basically we split the entire fair in half, the first half being dedicated primarily to when the 4-H'ers come in and occupy the space and they have their shows. So 4-H is the main event for the first half of the fair. We should say that if you're interested in seeing animals, livestock, visitors to the fair should come during those days. The second half then is more for open class, and that's anyone who, adult through youth, can enter into the open class areas.
And I understand there's going to be nearly 11,000 exhibits this year?
Yes.
Wow, what's the variety?
Oh, it's huge. We have rockets, we have first aid kits, we have clothing items, food competitions, fashion review they're calling it this year.
Probably lots of vegetables,
Vegetables,
and art.
horticulture, fine arts.
Yeah.
We have a bee area for open class, and a lot of variety for people of all kinds of interests. They'll find something there to watch and see.
There is a main stage that's sponsored by Pepsi this year, and you've got free shows 10 nights in a row. Tell us a little bit about who's going to be there. We've got a poster here about all the nights of music on the Pepsi main stage.
What's neat about this, a lot of people have been coming out a lot. We have our attraction zone and food vendors and had the stage, but we've totally upgraded and changed it this year. So Pepsi stepped on to sponsor that stage. Every night you can come out there and get at least one, if not 2 or 3 different shows. It ranges from every kind of music. We've got an impressionist that's coming to us out of Nashville, another act out of Branson. So a lot of local favorites, some regionals. So it'll be a lot of fun. And we're going to have a new Bud Light experience out there. Nebraska Lottery stepped up, and we're getting an upgraded shade tent. Shade is really important.
Shade's
I think
good.
it might be hot this year. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And weather is such a huge factor for the fair. We do our best, but we understand that weather can play a big role in our attendance. And so we're putting a lot of emphasis on what happens in the evening. We would like the public to know that on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, we're doing a free parking, free admission to encourage those slow days. People come out basically after 5 o'clock to enjoy the fair. There won't be a whole lot of happening during the day because we know people are still working and things like that. But we just want to make that clear that if they come out there, just wait a little bit later in the afternoon and they'll get a lot of entertainment.
Now, there's also the Muleback Motorsports Complex. Is that an indoor complex?
It's outdoor.
It is outdoor?
On the east side of the property, yep. We have an outdoor motorsports complex, and we're doing our famous figure 8 races the first night on the 4th, this first Saturday demo derby, really popular. And then the last Saturday, we're doing something new. It's called Fast Track Mud Drags. So there'll be a lot of mud flying, and I was just reading the description of it, even some vehicles that are illegal to be on the road. So if you want to see some action, that'll be a great night to come out. So
Then there's a big concert then on the 11th with 2 bands, the Outlaws and Blackhawk.
yes, these are folks that people know. Every other concert's free. This one is a reasonable $20, but you get 2 bands plus an opener for this one. And folks have heard them. They've got lots of favorites. They're both on the country and on the rock side. They both have platinum-selling albums, and both of them actually have new albums coming out. So it's a neat opportunity to come out and see them. And that's going to be inside for sure, in a really nice, comfortable building with good ventilation. So that's it. And actually on the motorsports and on the concert, if you want to make sure and get a ticket, and not be in line and get your best seat, those are already available at superfair.org.
Okay,
So.
superfair.org is the website. Tell us what else is new. I understand we've got white tigers this year.
Yes, we usually get some type of attraction that's unique. We've had bears and wolves and alligators, and this year we selected a white tiger act that will come in, and Paige has come off of the Ringling Brothers circuit and has gone out on her own to do this type of show, and so we're looking forward to that as well.
There's a lot of fun things for kids, a scavenger hunt and a fun at the farm interactive exhibit.
That's something we introduced last year, and the kids just had a ball. It's for all your little tykes up to medium size, I'll say. And this year, they did a scavenger hunt. Last year it was really popular. The kids could go around to some different spots on the fair, and then, kind of like you do at the national parks, and they can become a junior tour guide of the fair officially, and they get an orange fair t-shirt, which they loved. This year we actually added it to our app, so they'll be able to do
I was
this.
wondering who you were calling.
Yeah, right in the middle of the interview, right? So the Super Fair app will have that scavenger hunt, and of course the kids will be all over that. So that'll be a lot of fun for them.
That will be, and there's more rides than ever. I understand there's going to be some bungee out there.
Well, yes, we've added, not only our carnival is expanding by adding a few more rides, we've gotten a group out of Omaha that has a Euro bungee ride, which I've seen in the mountains at off-season ski resorts. And it's basically 3 trampolines, and they're all rigged up with harnesses, and you get and do flips and all that. The second ride is a zip line, which will extend from one side of one of our biggest parking lots to the other. And so I think the last thing that we need to point out is that we're going to have helicopter rides as well this year.
So lots of fun, and I imagine there will be all the traditional fair food for everyone.
Yeah, I was just asking this morning what was new. Turkey legs are back. I know that's really popular. We got gyros. We've got some specialty hamburgers. Of course, funnel cakes, always super popular, right? The fresh lemonade. I can't. That sounds good right now, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah.
We also want to mention again that there's free gate admission on Monday through Wednesday. And tell us that there's also some free tickets available at some of the sponsor locations.
Yes, you want to go and get your fair tickets. So every time you come in, you want one of these, and there's no reason to pay for them. They're $2. But otherwise, just go. You can go to Runza, Casey's, Super Saver, or who am I forgetting?
Russ's.
Russ's.
IGA.
And Runza's new this year. The other three have been with us a long time, and so they're all ready. They'll be ready about by July 1st. They'll have them. So be sure and pick up plenty of those. And then otherwise, it's just $5 parking, other than the free parking days Monday through Wednesday.
So very reasonable. You can
It
take the
is.
whole family and have a great time and not spend a whole lot
That's
of money.
right.
That's
That's
So
right.
that's
Come
great.
out. It's a county event. You know, it's for us to get together. That's the whole purpose, and celebrate our ag heritage, our ag future. You know, and just have fun here at the end of the summer before school starts.
Well, let's remind everyone the Lancaster County Super Fair again, August 4th through the 13th at the Lancaster Event Center. If you'd like more information, you can call 441-6545, and there is tons of information at the website. Superfair.org is the website to go to, and we're going to hope for good weather and big crowds and lots of fun.
Yep. That sounds great. Thanks for having us.
Thank you. Thank you. As we go to break, we're going to show you some of the other events that are coming up at the Event Center. And we'll also have the latest list of farmers markets. So don't go away during the break, and we'll be back soon.
This city isn't what outsiders think. Lincoln has always had the reputation of being a sleepy Midwest city, but not the type of place people think about living, especially young people. We've just never really been the place people dream about. That's about to change. It's time to change perceptions. Exciting things are happening in our city, big things. Our spirit has a renewed sense of energy, and there's enthusiasm in our collective voice. You can feel it in the streets, see it on the skyline, hear it in the ideas of our young entrepreneurs and creative class. This might be a quiet, laid-back city, but it's buzzing with a flourishing economy and a rich, vibrant culture. Be young, have a booming career, raise a family. You can do it all here, and it just keeps getting better. We're the crossroads of blue skies and bustling progress, the sweet spot of balanced living. It feels good to be here, to be a part of it. In Lincoln, life is right. Now, it's time to let the world know.
Welcome back to Out and About. Jeff Mull joins us now from the Lincoln Convention and Visitors Bureau, and we want to remind people there's still plenty of time to get your passport and be a tourist in your own hometown, and this thing is so handy.
We are so proud of that passport that you have right now is so easily put away. People are taking it with them, and it's an amazing program that just basically reintroduces people to Lincoln. And I'm sure you've gone through here, Diane, and picked out a few places that you haven't been in a while.
Well, I think I've been to all of these places, but some of them not for a while. So you know what? I still have never been to the Tractor Museum.
Oh, yes.
Yes, I need to get over there. But
And
I think
I'll
I've been to all the others.
I'll tell you, if
so-
you do the Tractor Test and Power Museum, you do the Quilt Study Center, then about 3:30 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, you end up at the dairy store for some ice cream. So that sounds like a great afternoon.
Is the dairy store on here?
It's not on there, but it's just right there. You can't miss it.
Licorice International is on here.
Lovely.
And You know, the American Historical Society of Germans from Russia, that is a really cool museum.
It is. It
Yes.
is a lot of great history there. And
It
so
is.
we encourage people to be a tourist in their own hometown. And again, it's just a great way to reintroduce yourself. We have great prizes at the end of summer that we will give away for those that turn in their passport with, I think, up to 11 completed passport stops.
It's wonderful. Get your passport now. How do we get the passport again?
You can visit our visitor center, visit the visitor center at 7th and P. We also have those available online as well that you can print off your own copy.
All right. Well, let's move on, though. Another big event this summer, of course, Cornhusker State Games. Last year, we invited the nation to our state games, but this year it's just for us again.
Yeah, bringing it back home, right? And we're excited because over 10,000 athletes are going to compete in the Cornhusker State Games. We always get excited about opening ceremonies. You have the mystery torch lighter, you have the parade of athletes, you have the flag brought in by a parachute team, and this year, there's always a featured entertainment aspect of the opening ceremonies. The Nitro Circus will be there as somewhat of an excitement part of the opening ceremonies, but also a teaser for an event that's going to happen the next week.
Wow. Well, we want to mention 10,000 athletes, over 60 different sports at the Cornhusker State Games, so get out and support your favorite athlete or get out there and be in the games yourself.
And the neat thing about the Cornhusker State Games, anybody can compete in any sport. There's nobody saying this has to be professional athletes. You and I could do a sport, I'm convinced, in some capacity.
Okay.
What do you think about it?
I'll think
Okay.
about it. All right. As we mentioned, Nitro Circus is going to do a little preview, and then they're coming back to Seacrest to do a big show.
Yeah, this is featuring 30 of the world's best extreme athletes in freestyle motocross, BMX, and anything you can imagine with wheels. There's ridiculous contraptions. These guys are crazy, certifiably crazy. It's an amazing circus stunt show kind of event out there at beautiful Seacrest Field.
Now, are they just going to kind of hang around in between the 15th and the 23rd?
No, they're going to bring in a light group, maybe 2 or 3 athletes for the opening ceremonies, and then they're going to bring the rest of their team out for the big show.
All right. Well, that should be fun. Something different.
Yes.
Also something different. First time the state of Nebraska is playing host to a World Bowling event.
Yes, and I want to congratulate Derek Bombeck and Derek Fireherm in our office for recruiting this event to Lincoln. This event in the last 3 stops, Bangkok, Thailand, Hong Kong, Lincoln, Nebraska, Sun Valley Lanes. So
Wow.
thanks to John Lucido out at Sun Valley Lanes for helping us put the bid together. But this is the best bowlers, youth bowlers from across the world, many of which have never been to a farm type setting, a rural type setting in the central part of the country. So we're excited to have them here.
We sure are. Now let's remind everybody the Lincoln Salt Dogs have a lot of home games coming up, and I just love the names of their competitors.
Right.
First of all, Salt Dogs
Yes.
is the best mascot.
It is.
But we've got the Texas Air Hogs, the Kansas City T-Bones, the St. Paul Saints, which is appropriate,
Right?
the Wichita Wingnuts,
They're nuts.
and the Sioux City Explorers. What is an air hog?
I don't know. I'm trying to remember the logo, but I think it's a hog and a plane. I don't know. It's like the salt dog, right?
Yeah.
That came loosely from the wild dogs that used to roam the Salt Valley, the Salt Creek Basin.
You
Look
made
it up.
that up.
I did not make it up.
But we want to remind people they have some great promotions
Yes.
at Haymarket Park. Tacorific Tuesdays, Friday fireworks, Souvenir Saturday, Sunday Fun Day. Get your tickets now.
A lot of fun. Get out to the ballpark. There's no better setting to watch baseball than Haymarket Park.
There's a lot of action out at Pinewood Bowl all summer, but we want to make sure that everyone knows that Seussical is going to continue the long-standing tradition of summer musicals at Pinewood Bowl.
Yes, and this tells the story of Horton, an elephant who discovers a speck of dust containing who's, including a JoJo, a young Whovian sent off to military school for thinking too many thinks with a K. This sounds like a lot of fun. Pinewood Bowl. It's been an amazing season out at Pinewood already.
Yes, it has.
Lots of great going on with this production.
67th annual summer musical at Pinewood Bowl. That's
It's amazing.
terrific.
Yes.
That is terrific. Lots of great local talent in that one. Another musical coming to Tada. This one is all about the beehives. The beehive. It's called Beehive. I was just thinking the woman who created the beehive
Right.
hairdo, she just passed away.
Did she really?
Yes, she did.
Oh my gosh.
The iconic hairstyle. I imagine we'll see a few of them at Tada.
That's right. You'll enjoy the music of Leslie Gore, Janis Joplin, the Supremes, Aretha Franklin, and much, much more. A lot of great hits from the 60s at the Tada Theater. If you've not been to the Tada Theater, any one of our theaters in the community, not a bad seat in the house.
The Playhouse has a great show coming up, Miracle on South Division Street. This one has to do with an appearance by the Blessed Mother, a shrine that was set up, a deathbed confession. It's a comedy, though.
If you're out there thinking, do I want to go to this? It's a comedy with miracles, family, faith, and adjusting to life surprises. Sounds like our life every day for the most part.
Pretty much.
This sounds like a lot of fun and a lot of great family entertainment.
The First Flight Festival is coming back to the Studio Theater at the Temple Building. The Angels Theater Company started this last year. It supports their playwriting collective, and so it's new, short plays written by members of the playwriting collective. And there's going to be 2 flights. There are so many plays that we're having some on some days and some on another days. And I am in one called Entropy.
Entropy.
Entropy,
Okay.
yes. It was written by Norm Simon, local playwright. So
Are you the first flight or the second flight?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'd have to look at my calendar, but this is really cool. You get to see local work being performed by
Yes.
local actors, and it's the premiere of all.
Very
so
nice.
it's really cool,
Sounds fun.
really fun. All right, let's go to a movie.
Should we go to a movie? The Rail Yard Summer Classic movie series will go on actually July 6th through August 3rd. Movies like The Wizard of Oz, Raiders of the Lost Ark, The Princess Bride, Toy Story, and Grease. The movie series is brought to you by the Friends of the Mary Reepna Ross Media Center and will be at the Rail Yard this summer.
And it's free.
Yes, that's a good thing.
It's free. If you'd rather get your enjoyment indoors and out of the heat, Morrill Hall has some great laser shows set up. It's kind of a 3 shows each night, one at 6, one at 7, and one at 8, and they're all different.
Yeah, at 6 o'clock you'll see Laser Safari, at 7 Laser Summer Jam, and 8 o'clock Laser Mania. Listen to Laser Mania, a collection of the most current rock and pop hits. We took travel writers to the Mueller Planetarium where this is happening for these laser shows. They were blown away.
Wow.
Some of them fell asleep because it was just so relaxing in there. But when they set things to music and you really kind of pull yourself into what they're doing, it's an amazing experience.
Now another indoor place to go, kind of go on a little exploration is the Hyde Observatory. They have free programs on Saturdays from 8 to 11.
And they actually, did you know they have 3 different telescopes?
I think they have 4.
Actually, no, they're maybe 4. The fourth,
Okay.
I think it's 3, but the 4th one might be the ginormous one.
Maybe.
Right. And this is Hyde Observatory. It's on the south side, the south shore of Holmes Lake.
And it's a great place. It's in a city park. We've got some other things going on at our
Yes.
city parks.
Yes.
Lots of fun. There's an herb festival July 16th. You can learn about herbs. You can learn about how to keep them alive while they're growing, and then how to preserve them when you get them all grown. And you can learn how to make fun stuff with them.
Wow.
So
This is fun.
Yeah.
Do you have an herb garden at home?
no, I tried to grow some indoors and didn't go well.
Didn't go so well.
No, it didn't go well.
You know, my son grew some beans in his bedroom this spring and summer. And we just harvested 4 beans off of his bean.
In the bedroom?
Yes, in his bedroom.
Well, that's not quite enough for a meal, is
Probably
it?
not what we needed, but there's a lot of creativity when you go to an herb event. Anything having to do with the garden should be a lot of fun.
And then at Union Plaza, Party on the Plaza is coming up Saturday, August 13th. And this is going to be a Lincoln Luau.
Yes, get your dancing moves ready for the Lincoln Luau at Union Plaza.
All right, let's go to the zoo, the Lincoln Children's Zoo. There is an adult-only party planned, Brews at the Zoo. 21 and over, this is a time when the adults can go and enjoy the zoo and some brew.
Yeah, enjoy some music by Evan Bartles, cover band Loose Affiliation, and some great craft beers.
And this is a great fundraiser for the zoo and all the great programs they do.
Yes.
They're also having an event where you can say thank you to your favorite zookeeper.
This is going to be a lot of fun, and next time you and your family see one of them, be sure to tell them thanks and stop by the Hive to write them a letter. Just a great appreciation time for everything that happens behind the scenes at the Lincoln Children's Zoo.
Well, let's go back to Morrill Hall.
Let's do it.
Because we aren't quite done with Morrill Hall yet. They've got a lot of things going on. First of all, their Sunday with a Scientist on July 17th is going to feature,
Yes.
those little critters like the emerald ash borer.
Yes. It seems very timely, doesn't
Yes.
it? This will focus on invasive species at Morrill Hall, the ash borer, as well as the Asian longhorn beetles. And guests will get a chance to interact with a lot of different things and spin the question wheel and much, much more.
Maybe one of the kids who's attending this will figure out how to keep that emerald ash borer at bay.
Certainly somebody will at some point, I hope, figure that out.
I hope so too. Yes, there's a fun camp coming up for kids who love dinosaurs and geology and art.
Yeah, and after the tour, students will spend the rest of the camp creating art inspired by what they learned. So while they're more roaming around Morrill Hall, they're going to be picking up a lot of great ideas. Now, if you're hearing about this right now, I encourage you to pre-register for the event. They're only allowing pre-registration.
Yes, and the class size is limited.
Yes,
because
yes.
it's so much fun.
It is.
We want to remind people that Thursday nights are free at Morrill Hall. Your chance to mingle with the mammoths and pose with a
Go ahead.
plesiosaur.
That's very good. That's very good.
Yeah, I hope I pronounced that right.
But it's a great opportunity. It's a free night at the museum on Thursday.
And the Sartori Summer Science Cafe series continues,
Mm-hmm.
and this time we're going to be talking about animal rights.
That's right, and this is for adults 21 and over, just because it's a touchy subject. And Joel Sartori does so much work with preservation, takes some great images, tells some great stories. This is a great opportunity to go learn from Joel and learn about his passion and really what he cares the most about, and that's just making sure everything is safe out there, and just a great opportunity.
All right, the Investigate Second Saturday then is coming up August 13th. This one is going to focus on sand and surf. That's appropriate for the summer.
Yes, a lot of great time. Sand and surf, dude, should be a lot of fun, and it's going to be a lot of fun over at Morrill Hall. I love the Sunday with the Scientist series.
They're also having Family Day at the Sheldon Museum of Art. Math and art come together. You know, you hear about STEM,
Yes.
science, technology, engineering, and math. This is STEAM. They add art into that whole equation.
Yes, your opportunity to become an engineer, design structures, make string art on a giant grid, and create artistic masterpieces based on what you learn there at the Sheldon Museum.
And our final event that we're going to feature today is the Right-Brained Artisan Fair. Are you right-brained or left-brained?
I'm somewhere in the middle, is what I like to tell people. Do you believe that? Probably not.
No.
What do you think? I'm probably right-brained.
Well, I think this event is for people of all brains. They're going to have
All shapes and sizes, right?
30 artists from all over Nebraska are going to have some great stuff for sale. And this is going to be at The Space. It's located at 5900 South 58th. Yeah, it should be fun.
Yeah, and this will support the Nebraska art scene, which is a very powerful scene. We have a great local art scene, but statewide it's very powerful. So a great chance to go out to The Space and enjoy some art.
Yes, and it's a good time to start your Christmas shopping.
You know what? July is upon us. I mean, not right now, but here we are. It's coming.
I find if I start to pick up things throughout the year at fun things like this, then it makes December a lot easier.
Do you have good hiding spaces?
Yeah. Actually, I don't have any little kids in my house anymore unless they're visiting.
You don't have
so
to
I
hide anything.
Don't have to hide
That's
anything
true.
too. Now
That's
my
true.
husband, on the other hand, I gotta hide stuff.
Yeah, I
from
can
him.
see that.
Yeah. So, anyway, Jeff, that's a big list. We also are gonna have, as we go to the break, we're gonna run a list of all the summer music series
Yes.
that are coming up this summer. There's some new ones in there, so make sure you don't go away during the break. And if people want to find out more information about the events in Lincoln, where do they go?
Lincoln.org is our website. You can give us a call at 434-5348, or we always welcome visitors at our visitor center down at 7th and P. We're in the Lincoln Station on the south side. Lots of great tourism information, friendly staff, and cold water at our Lincoln Visitor Center.
And the
The
now it will
passport.
work. Passport.
Yeah, it's
All right.
it's a beaut.
Thank you very much,
You bet.
Jeff.
Thanks, Diane.
Again, we're going to run a list of the summer music series that are coming up. They're happening all summer, almost every night of the week here in Lincoln. And when we come back, Tom Lorenz will join us from Pinnacle Bank Arena in the Vinewood Bowl. Stay with us.
This city isn't what outsiders think. Lincoln has always had the reputation of being a sleepy Midwest city, but not the type of place people think about living, especially young people. We've just never really been the place people dream about. That's about to change. It's time to change perceptions. Exciting things are happening in our city, big things. Our spirit has a renewed sense of energy, and there's enthusiasm in our collective voice. You can feel it in the streets, see it on the skyline, hear it in the ideas of our young entrepreneurs and creative class. This might be a quiet, laid-back city, but it's buzzing with a flourishing economy and a rich, vibrant culture. Be young, have a booming career, raise a family. You can do it all here, and it just keeps getting better. We're the crossroads of blue skies and bustling progress, the sweet spot of balanced living. It feels good to be here, to be a part of it. In Lincoln, life is right. Now, it's time to let the world know.
Welcome back to Out and About. Tom Lorenz joins us now, and we're going to start at Pinnacle Bank Arena because the NBA is coming back.
They are. We're going to get to do another NBA exhibition game.
That's fun.
We're really excited by that one.
The Timberwolves have never been in Lincoln. They've been to Nebraska, but never Lincoln.
Correct. And they are really an upcoming team. Sports Illustrated named them one of the greatest, newest teams coming up. They had Rookie of the Year, I think, twice. They did really well in the draft here recently. So it'll be really exciting to have the Timberwolves in. And we think it's a really good regional game. It's nice to kind of be right between Minnesota and Denver, and having the Nuggets come in. And they play such high level of basketball. It was so much fun last time around. We think people are going to be really excited by this.
I lived in Minnesota when they were trying to figure out what they were going to name the Timberwolves. I was holding out for the Wind Chill.
Ooh.
The Minnesota Wind Chill. Wouldn't
See,
that have been cool?
that'd have been okay too.
But I've kind of gotten used to
The graphic for Timberwolves
so-
is pretty neat.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Well, I know a lot of people who have July 22nd on their calendar. They have their tickets, and they can hardly wait for KISS.
KISS is going to be tremendous. It rock and roll, great pyro, lots of history there. And Gene Simmons, is the ultimate rock star. They'll still have all the makeup, all the great costumes, all the great antics that go on. And you know what? They really play some pretty good music, and they've lasted for a long, long time.
44 albums.
It's amazing. And those guys, and they're known worldwide. It's not just an America phenomenon.
Do you think when they started with all the makeup and everything, they realized that that would be great for when they got a little bit older, maybe?
No, I always wondered if they would have made it simpler or something, if they had to know they had to put it on how many thousands of times. But they don't seem to complain about that, and it's just amazing. I've seen KISS a couple times, and the show is something. If you haven't seen them, you have to see them. If you have, you know the cool things that are going to happen, and you want to come back and experience it one more time.
And they have an opener that's an American Idol winner.
That's right, and it's nice to have, get them some exposure, and that's kind of our next, they seem to sort of be setting up that next round of rock stars to come back, and, KISS was the best at what they did, and they were that glam rock, and, they just carried on that tradition so long, and they love it. I think in a recent interview they talked about they'll just keep doing this as long as they can, so
That's great.
It's very neat.
That's great. Seems like we've been talking about Toric for a long time, and it's almost here.
It's getting close. It was nice to be able to announce it so far out, and people can kind of make some plans to see it. Multiple shows. Cirque is just such an amazing thing. I've had a lot of people talk to me and tell me about the shows they've seen out in Vegas and how extensive and beautiful they are. This will be a very, very big production. It's really exciting to have it come to Lincoln, Nebraska. If you like the Avatar series, and even if you haven't seen it, it's the basis for the show, but it's not like you have to know that or be intimately involved with it. It's just a beautiful, beautiful experience, and I hope families come out, and I hope everyone gets a chance to catch one of the shows.
Okay, we'll have the blue people will be replaced by people in white on August 5th.
That's right. We get to sit outside and do Haymarket in white again. That's based off of something they do internationally, where they'll announce a location, where they'll secretly talk about a location, and people will sign up to come. They'll announce the location, they'll show up, and everyone's dressed in white. All of the tables are covered that way. Ours is a little bit different. We at least know where it's going to be ahead of time, but the folks that came last year had a blast. It was so much fun. The food was terrific. It's right outside in front of Pinnacle Bank Arena, so we used the plaza in a very unique way there. We had a beautiful breeze, great band. I hope people get a chance to try it.
Okay, Rib Fest is coming back to the festival lot. How many years now?
This will be the 20th year.
20th
Can you believe
year.
we've been doing this for 20 years already?
Wow. And it's been its third year at the festival
This
lot.
is the third year we're doing it outside, and it's, the festival lot, when we designed it, we designed the infrastructure in for power and for all those kind of things, and so the rib vendors really like it. We've got a lot of space to maneuver and open up, a nice big stage and a great place to gather in front. We'll be really quickly announcing 2 really good red dirt bands that'll play on Friday and Saturday night. We've got some great stuff lined up for Thursday, a really great local band. And we'll have all the other things, the best barbecue around, great sides and fixings, lots of shade. People can come over and grab a cool beverage, meet with their neighbors. That's what it's been. It's just folks coming by and hanging out, having great food, and you'll see lots of people It's a wonderful experience.
The Belong Tour then takes over the weekend of August 26th and 27th.
That is coming back. This will be our second year. It was Belong Tour was known previously as Women of Faith. They've kind of just remarketed it a little bit. A wonderful weekend of worship and learning and teaching, and women from multiple states come by. We had over 11,000 women there last year. They'll be there on Friday night and Saturday. So if you see large groups of women that weekend walking around, you'll know that they came in for that tour. And it's a very, very nice experience.
It's a good draw.
Yep.
Good draw. Well, we've got 3 concerts coming up before basketball takes over the arena. Maroon 5, Keith Urban, and Alan Jackson. Whoa, those are 3 huge shows.
That's huge for us. Maroon 5 is on a big world tour, and to be able to have the same tours that go through New York and Atlanta and Chicago, stop by here in Lincoln, and the fact that Maroon 5 is coming back and James Valentine is coming back home. I know he looks forward to this. I know a few people who are friends with him, and we'll talk online. He's excited to come back. They just have great music too. I mean, it's the last show they played at Pershing. Pershing was the smallest place they played. They enjoyed it. They've just got a history of terrific music, terrific albums, and that's sold very well. There may be a few tickets, especially when you get close. They always you'll drop a marketing ticket or something. So if you haven't got them, keep looking, and we'll hopefully have a few for you, but that's a sellout.
All right, and then Keith Urban and Alan Jackson going to finish up with some country.
2 great country shows. Keith Urban played at the State Fair last year and was a huge hit. Not everyone gets to go out to the State Fair. It's a little bit of a drive. He's coming back, and the attendance is excellent at this. What a great guitarist, terrific lyricist. He's as country as they come. And then Alan Jackson, who has a history of wonderful songs, touching songs. He's a terrific performer. He's been here in Lincoln before. This will be his biggest show, and it's just an honor to have them all coming into Lincoln.
All right, well, let's go out to Pinewood Bowl. We're taping this a little early. We're taping this the day before Ringo Starr and his All-Stars, and everyone's got their fingers crossed that the weather holds out.
I think it will, and even on an outdoor show, weather's a possibility, and we do these shows rain or shine. The production will be in. We'll be able to set them up, have them all ready. Folks will be able to come out, bring your rain gear, and if it's sprinkling a little bit, you can still enjoy the show. It's still a warm summer day. If the weather gets a little extensive or a little bit heavy, we'll have people shelter in cars and then stop the show, and then they'll come back in and we'll finish up and have a good evening.
Now, people ask you, they'll say, well, can't they come back another time? And they're so tightly scheduled.
It is,
it's just not possible.
Their entire tour is laid out. It's day to day. They've already made arrangements at hotels and for transportation, and so there's not a way to just call it off and come back, because there's so much involved in setting them up. We'll start at 7 o'clock in the morning out at the bowl, and they'll be ready at 3 or 4 in the afternoon. So it'll work out. We've had a few sprinkles at the shows before, and it's just part of being outside.
I'd rather have a few sprinkles than 105 degrees.
We don't call off those Husker games for a little bit of sprinkle. We're not going to call off a concert. So.
Well, Pinewood Bowl is going to take a little break from concerts while Seussical takes over. We talked about that in the last segment. And then you come storming back with 21 Pilots on July 28th.
That'll be the biggest show of the summer. We'll have close to a little over 5,000 for that. It's a general admission show, and so the kids will be standing, and they become more and more popular all the time. They're starting now to move from our size, which would be Pinewood Bowl at over 5,000, to starting to play arenas. So we caught them on the way up. It's going to be a very popular night, and they play great music. Those guys out of Ohio know how to do it.
And you have a good track record of catching those bands on the way up.
We really do.
They come here, and then boy, they hit it big.
They explode. I remember when we did Zach Brown back at Pershing, and he was just becoming big, and even Garth Brooks, just as he was exploding, played a fireman show over at Pershing. So I mean, it's nice to see those things kind of break and become big, and it's a great time to catch them.
Okay, I've got to ask you, has Alabama ever been in Lincoln before?
I don't know if they've been in Lincoln. I know that I used to work in Ames at Iowa State University, and we played Alabama out there a couple times, and I saw their show, and those guys know country. They are the experts at it. They've got a huge a huge catalog of tremendous shows. They continue to do it just as well as they ever did. Those guys were superstars in the day, and they still do a terrific show now.
Well, they're the ones who are credited with bringing country more into the mainstream.
Right. They always had great players, so they had great guitarists, and you take that country, that jump from country to rock and roll isn't that big, and so when you bring that little rock and roll edge to country, it really makes it, you're right, very mainstream, and it took it from, those guys and the Oak Ridge Boys were the two that kind of moved it forward.
I remember the Oak Ridge Boys were here for Farm Aid.
That's right.
That was kind of fun.
Yep.
All right, Chicago comes August 9th. I just read this in some of their press materials. They've had top 40 albums in 6 decades.
It's amazing. They just continue to put out terrific music. They're that ultimate horn band. Their lyrics are, meaningful, and they have fun doing what they do. They've had a few different members that have either passed or moved on to other things, and they keep bringing back just better and better musicians. I'm looking forward to this one. I've been a fan of them for years. I can remember being in high school listening to Chicago albums, and
yes.
They have so many great things to play. It'll be a greatest hits night all night long.
Back when they were the Chicago Transit Authority.
Back to the CTA.
Goes back a ways. I am looking forward very much to August 10th when Weird Al comes to town, and I'm a huge fan, but I didn't know that he was a Grammy winner.
He had
4 Grammys.
He's for what he does, he is so great at it, and I think we talked about it before, but some of the musicians who he parodies, they're always worried about with somebody to get mad, and I think the musicians think it's an honor to have Weird Al do them. Probably only 1 or 2 would get bent out of shape, and once they saw it, they go, "Oh, this is pretty good."
It's pretty good.
So yeah, he's got. We watched him on, listened to him on Dr. Demento. He's been his videos are legendary, and it's just a very nice show, and we've got great seats for that one.
The Beach Boys and Temptations are coming August 11th. This one's sold out so fast, and it's going to really be a highlight of the summer for many, many people. The Beach Boys mean summer.
They do. I mean, that's, what was the album? Endless Summer. And when you think of summer, you think of beaches and hot August nights, and they'll be out there. Sing along, and the Temptations bring so much great history there. The two of them together was a perfect storm, and we're so excited to get them. Ours sold out, and it kind of started something across the country, and they've done very well every place they've toured this summer.
Bonnie Raitt is bringing that beautiful voice of hers and her great guitar skills to Pinewood Bowl September 6th.
Blues, she just gets up there and she epitomizes that. She's got that great voice. She is a master guitarist, great backup band. That's another wonderful evening that's just going to be, we've had so many iconic things this year, and we've talked about a lot of these folks are in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and so this summer all those stars aligned, and it's just Bonnie is going to be one of the top 1 or 2 shows that we do this summer.
Do you think people are going to look back on this as kind of a historic year
I think so.
For the music scene in Lincoln?
It's the 5th year. We've got 10 great shows, and we've kind of made that jump to that next level. And it's also great when the artists leave that they've had a wonderful time. Previous to the taping, we just did Bob Dylan earlier, and Bob did, an epic show. It was just, he was engaged, and the lyrics were tremendous, and to have an iconic guy like that, and Paul Simon, and now Ringo, this has just been the people you've been waiting to see for a long time.
That's right. And we're going to finish up Pinewood Bowl with Steve Martin and Martin Short, and no one knows quite what to expect, but I know Steve Martin will play his banjo.
Steve will have his banjo. Martin Short will do some of his characters. The two will play off each other. There'll be comedy. There'll be music. I don't have to worry about what those guys will do, because whatever they do it excellent. I still go back to the time of seeing Steve with his "excuse me" jokes and all those great things.
Right.
So
Two wild and crazy guys.
That's right. And if you've ever seen Steve or either one of these guys on Saturday Night Live, you know a little bit what to expect. And it'll be just an evening where they can kind of do whatever they want and have fun.
King Tut, when he did King Tut on Saturday Night Live, that remains one of my favorites.
Can you imagine a song about King Tut being a hit song? But it was. So.
Tom, thank you so much. I can't believe next month we'll probably be talking basketball already.
We will be talking basketball. There'll be some other announcements hopefully for the fall, and we'll just keep it going. And thank you so much, Lincoln, for supporting all the great things that we get to do.
Right, PinewoodBowlTheater.com and PinnacleBankArena.com are the websites. You'll find lots of information there about, wow, just some great entertainment, world-class entertainment right here in Lincoln,
Lincoln's a fun
Nebraska.
place to be right now.
Thank you, Tom. Well, that is it for this month's Out and About show. I want to thank all the guests we had today. Now, if you missed any of the events, stay tuned. We're going to run the list again right after this show. And thank you for joining us. We hope to see you out and about.